So, good morning. Um, I don't think Rupa needs any introduction, and certainly Mr. Mehra has always been an institution, really. When I started out in journalism and started the book Beat, Mr. Mehra was known for being in his Daryaganj office always. He hardly granted any interviews, I must admit. Yeah, you're still there. And but he was, he'd seen the trade grow to becoming this sort of worldwide phenomenon that now Indian publishing is. And this is a phenomenal book, and it's really fabulous. It's not only Rupa's story, but it's also a story of India, and it's a story of Indian publishing. And before we start, could we play the video? Can we cue the video, please? As they cue the video, I'm going to reveal something about Mr. Mehra, though this is totally off script in some ways. But Mr. Mehra is one of the most generous people when it comes to food. If you ever need to know where to go in any city, कि कहाँ से अच्छा खाना मिलेगा, he will know it. I remember when I went to interview him for this book, he said, "Acha, have you been this place?" I said, "Nahi." He said, "Have you eaten these laddus?" I said, "Nahi." And within 10 minutes of us having this conversation, a box of laddus arrived because he had brought them, right? And they were the most fabulous laddus ever. So he knows he's a person who really likes to eat and knows where everything is. So if you ever know are you as familiar with Bangalore?
I've not tested anything as yet.
As yet. Can we have the video, please? Okay. Chali, before the video begins, can we start off? How did you get into publishing? How did you?
First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to organizers of the.
नहीं, I think आपको ऐसे पकड़ना पड़ेगा. Just closer.
Hello.
Yeah.
First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers of Bangalore Literary Festival, and particularly my friend Sani Anthony, who has made me to be here today. Because normally I avoid going to the public at any given time.
Yes. Why
But
that?
that's very personal. But when the book came out, she said, "No, you must come," and so I had to make it. She has talked about the food. I think we should start with the food. The gentleman in the first row on the second seat is Dr. Pushpesh Pant. I think we have learned a lot out of him. The day you were talking to me about a day before,
Yeah.
you talked about on a video on Delhi samosa, Allahabad samosa, Banarsi samosa, number of samosas which you talked about.
Yeah.
So the food is always something which is to the taste of the people who wants it. It's like when you come to South India, you would like to have a best of the Italy, you can get it, or any food. So one food has been my passion, being born in Calcutta. Calcutta Calcuttans are very foodies all the time. So that is where we got it.
Yeah.
No.
So you grew up in this Calcutta, which was a different kind of Calcutta, not the Calcutta we know right now, but essentially, a Calcutta where there was revolution. It was during the Naxal period. How did you get into publishing, and what was growing up like that?
My birthplace is Calcutta, and then I grew there. After that, when I went to the college, the actual problem started in late 60s, that one could not get into the class. There will always be bomb thrown, or Naxal problem was there. And then I realized that this is not the place I can stay, because I wanted to get into the academic line, not in the publishing line. And professors, teachers, they were all very scared in the classrooms. So seeing my worry, and the examinations were always late, so my family saw that I would not be able to stand for the national competitive examinations. So after my graduation, my granduncle, who founded the company, suggested that to keep everything out of my mind, I should travel to India for a while. And I remember about 500 rupees ticket was bought on a railway, for an entire tour of the railway, from Ludhiana to Coimbatore and Chennai, Ernakulam. I traveled for 40 days. It was a unique experience. And today I was talking to my colleague that 1968, I stayed in a hotel called Barton on MG Road,
Mm.
and I'm staying there today also. I've never
Mhm.
left that hot hotel. Has changed.
Yeah.
It is just below the Ebony.
Yeah.
So the journey made me learn a lot of things at that time, and I was very impressed with the kind of book selling which was taking place all over the place. You talk Ludhiana, you talk Bangalore. In fact, Bangalore had some beautiful shops those days. International Book House, Mr. Dora Swami, like Mr. Dr. Pant's Beard, he was always there.
Mm.
And he was a fascinating personality to talk about books, and we learned out of them. It is not that I got into, because I got into the publishing, I could meet people, and I could meet people who matter a lot.
Mm.
And being a young boy, they would always ask, what are you doing? So all this fun was going on. And when I went back to Calcutta, my granduncle asked me, what do you want to do? I said, I'll come to the office tomorrow, let me see.
Mm.
And it so happened, because in Calcutta office in Rupa, we have second floor showroom, which was facing the Indian Coffee House building. And Satyajit Ray used to come every day there
Mm.
for his adda and some ideas. I saw him there, so it was a unique experience. And then I said, look, I would like to join it. Then he said, no, I don't want you to be the boss son here.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
work as a ordinary clerk here. Because I passed graduation, so he can't give me a job of a peon.
Yeah.
So I joined the company, and there is a photo of the appointment letter in my name from the company. But the job which I was given was unique. I was given a jhadu, broom, and a phenyl box that I have to clean the floor first 2 days, which I did it. So, like a punishment in the Gurdwara. So, I was fulfilling that. And the next day, I was given the opportunity to clean up the racks, the stacked racks of the books, and it worked very well. That gave an idea what the authorship is, what the book is all about. And I'm sorry, many of you may not like, but the fact of the thing is that we were distributor of Penguin at that time,
Mm.
and my granduncle asked me that I have to read at least 10 synopses of the book and 10 biodata of the same author. So I did it. And that gave an enormous feeling what fiction is. At that time, there was no fiction, non-fiction. Anything was under any category.
Mm.
It was happening. But then fiction, non-fiction, the subject marking started. And that gave an opportunity to learn what was selling.
Yeah.
Whether fiction was selling, or plays were selling, or any other subjects were selling, sociology and other things.
Mm.
And since it was a communist movement at that time, ideology was a very important subject. So people who come to the office would know that this man knows about the book, which I
Yeah.
may not. So they would come. Like you may have seen Premier Bookshop here, Shanbag. He would know anything.
Mm.
So they would come and ask me, and it will give me an opportunity to interact with them.
Yeah.
At that time, surprisingly, I came into contact with Charu Majumdar and Kanu
Kanu
Sanyal,
Sanyal. Yeah.
who were the actual Naxal leader. The whole Calcutta or the police will get scared but they would come to the coffee house, sit for a while, and sometimes they ask in Bengali, hey, Koka, I electric cigarette nahi aaj bhi matches, nahi chutte ke. Like, please buy a cigarette from me from downstairs and give me the money. So in fact, I've given the photograph of the shop, which is still exists, from where I used to buy.
Yeah.
So that was a unique experience, but I could not dare ask him why you are doing this.
Yeah.
The best thing was to see that and leave Calcutta. So I learned a lot out
Yeah.
of that, and then started moving out of Calcutta.
So at that very interesting point, before you turned to Delhi, we've managed to get the video to work. So can we just play the video? Okay. So, I would like to ask you, and also I would like to tell everybody that your first logo was designed by Satyajit Ray, right? So
Yes. Yes.
that one pass, this thing, it was a relationship that continued, right?
No, that relationship was not with me, with my granduncle, because
Yeah.
Satyajit Ray would come in the morning,
Huh.
and after having some cup of coffee, or he would pick up the cup from there and come to Rupa's office,
Huh.
go around and pick up books and all that. At that time, we were not publishing at all.
Yeah.
But as we developed it, Satyajit Ray said to my grandfather, I will make you a Rupa logo.
Huh.
So he changed the logo, and the Rupa logo became a symbol by Satyajit Ray all the time. My encounter with him happened in somewhere in some around 75,
Huh.
when I was traveling from Delhi to Calcutta,
Yeah.
and my granduncle put a test on me.
Huh.
He said, you kindly go to Manik. We used to call him Manik Da.
Huh.
Satyajit Ray's nickname was Manik, and we used to kill Dada. Manik Dada, kache chole jao eta kurbe.
Hmm.
So what was this? That was a cover of biography of Indira Gandhi.
Huh.
And I gave it to him. He said, come after 7 days. So I said, I'm going back to Delhi. My granduncle has asked me to
Yeah.
do it. Well, okay, wait. So he went inside and bought a long brush, and a canvas was there. He sat and had a cup of coffee and cigar. And I suddenly found he got up. Indira Gandhi,
Huh.
Ila Sen, that author
Yeah.
was there.
Huh.
That's it. So he said, wait for half an hour. So half an hour I waited, and took a photograph was given and given to me, this is your thing. So I could barely talk to him, and they said, sir, what should I tell about your feast to my granduncle? Give me a copy of Alistair MacLean.
Huh. So that was the feast.
So that was the feeling with him. But then after that, whenever I used to go, I used to meet him.
Huh.
But I could not meet Kanu Sanyal and Charu Majumdar. That contact went off the track. They were
But
there.
yeah. But you also have, what is wonderful really about the book is that you have these nuggets of information that are, and stories of, that, we didn't really know, and, that are just so incredible. So you have this wonderful story about Nehru and writing to Indira Gandhi, and Nehru used to buy books from you guys, right?
No, Nehru never used to buy books.
No, what do you mean he never used to buy books?
No,
I thought you did send him.
What used to happen, that Nehru was arrested and put in Naini jail,
Yeah.
and we had an office in Allahabad.
Huh.
So during the World War II, our family has moved to Allahabad, and I was not even born at that time. So my granduncle, because he was very young and active, he would send, as we would know that this book is coming, he would send a Nehru to Jawaharlal Nehru in Naini jail.
Yeah.
And Jawaharlal Nehru was a big name those days after
Yeah.
Mahatma Gandhi. So Nehru would acknowledge to Indira Gandhi and say, I have received this book of Wavell, which I've asked you to send it to me. Please don't buy it. And somebody from Rupa, who has got an office in Allahabad,
We'll
has
send
sent
it
it
to
to me. Then this cycle continues, and in number of Nehru's letter, Rupa is mentioned about the book which he have sent. He has written to Indira Gandhi, and after that, Indira Gandhi came to our house and complimented us for looking after the father, which Nehru never did it.
Yeah. Okay. So you left very revolutionary Charu Majumdar, Calcutta and everything, and you moved to Delhi. What was that like?
No, Delhi was very different. There are two cities I liked while I was traveling, was Delhi and another was Bangalore. And Bangalore, I was fascinated by the greenery around at that time. It is not the same Bangalore as today.
Yeah.
But Delhi was full of activities, and it was a growing city very rapidly. Political fallout was there. And so I thought an opportunity for business was more in Delhi than in Bangalore, and I think I took a right decision. But I'm fulfilling it by coming back here.
Yes. Yes. And but when settling down in Delhi, it was also a lot of your building of it was also a lot of grit and determination, because publishing at that point of time was I mean, even now it's not like a different industry. It's not like an industry like we understand other FMC.
So when I came to Delhi, primarily we were distributors. Only few books we were publishing.
Yeah.
But seeing Delhi market, I could see this is going to grow a lot. What Indian readership wanted, those days I'm talking of, foreign fiction was very popular, so as it is today, but they wanted a very cheap editions, lower
Yeah.
prices.
Hmm.
And I dealt with the import of books for about 5, 6 years and could identify the subject thereof. And then I talked to the people abroad, that our principals like Penguin or HarperCollins or whoever there was, that, and we were the prime distributors in India for all those publishers.
Mm.
And I saw an opportunity, and there was also restrictions on import those days.
Yeah.
And they said, this is a restriction, this is what it is, and it was a business discussion. And we started reprinting those books in India with the royalty to be paid to the publishers there, and it worked very well.
Yeah.
In fact, if I rightly recollect, the first book which we did with Collins was Golden Gate. We printed 50,000 copies. In my company, nobody would believe that I would take that risk and do that.
Yeah.
And I did it. And I put it 8 rupees.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know what you get in 8 rupees today.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked wonders. And we continued to develop this, and it became a very big reprint market. And foreign publishers at that time realized that this colonial hangover has to be given up. They have to move to India. Penguin started in 86, 87. And that was, they were the first company to establish a
Yeah.
partnership with Anand Publishers. And Rupa did it with HarperCollins immediately thereafter. And the publishing grew from there a lot. From reprinting, then the original publishing happened. Then the Indian authors, because we have already developed a large market. Because, books should sell 2,000, 3,000. If it sells, it's a huge thing those days. But now selling 50,000, 60,000 was not a joke, and everybody was admiring it.
Yeah.
And we were fulfilling a demand and generating employment. Huge thing was happening. And in that context, I have to meet some politicians also. I think Narasimha Rao was one of them
Yeah.
who would listen
Yeah.
and do things which we wish to do. And it worked very fast there. And today you see the houses, publishing houses all around here.
Yeah.
I think only sad part is that we have less of language publishing and we have less of Indian publishers. We are more of a foreign collaborations or foreign company. In fact, 100% equity is allowed now, so anybody can come and establish it. But Indian authorship is growing. That is a good thing. Our authors are getting good royalty. Pushpesh Pant has always been blaming the Indian publishers don't pay. Thank you. So I think that Indian authorship has come around now. And I hope that with the change of time, we are not far away from the foreign source. And there's just so much of demand and interest happening because of the social media network that it won't be very far. Yes, now Kindle takes from us, audio takes from us. No, we are selling rights to them all the time,
Yeah.
and it's paying very well.
So you know, one of the things, and you've talked about Professor Pant and everybody. One of the things was that Rupa also discovered very many new people. You moved from distributing to then becoming a publishing company. And in your book you talk about meeting various people, sort of finding manuscripts, doing things what commissioning editors possibly do now. So can you really talk about that journey, about from moving from distribution to publishing? And
From import to publishing, when I moved, I would say I was lucky. God gave me the opportunity for reprinting it. Reprinting became a backbone for me because that gave me an idea of the kind of market which prevails here. Now to tell you one example, we published 2 books on cricket by Keith Miller and Dennis Compton. They were the stars of the time. And those books are sold in hardcover. So I could see there is a market for cricket.
Yeah.
And luckily, I met Sunil Gavaskar in August 1976 in Bombay. And it was a real Bombay day, full of rains, waist deep water. But we could make it, and we met in Taj. And I was nowhere. Sunil had already scored fabulous runs and was well known in Indian cricket. We met. We made a deal in 1 minute.
Wow. Just 1 minute?
Yeah,
What did
he
you say
said,
to him?
This is my manuscript. I said, fascinating. He said, I am being paid by Simons, which was
Huh.
A.H. Wheeler and Company, so much of money. How much you would like to pay? I said, I would like to pay 10,000. He was paying 25,000.
Yeah.
So he looked at me, why? I said, look, I know what I will want to do it. So he said, my first condition is that I would like this book to be out on 16th December 1976 when Delhi Test match is taking place.
Yeah.
So I said, done, without realizing what I have to do. And I took the manuscript and rushed to YMCA international guest house near Maratha Mandir, and it was full of water.
I-
And I had to manage some plastics from some shop,
Yeah.
put into that, open my, I had my shoes on the other hand, manuscript on the other hand, and ran to the YMCA that I should not get into the drain down.
Yeah.
At least I could see the book coming out. It came out, and it sold, sold, and sold. And with your blessings and best wishes, tomorrow we celebrate 48 years of the
Of that.
publication of that book. And till now, nowhere in the world, any cricket book has lasted so much. And as number of copies which are sold, we have sold outsold the world. So that is an achievement which you say. When it happened, now we have Gundappa Vishwanath, Chandrasekhar, E.S. Prasanna, they are all our authors.
Yeah.
You name anyone, Dennis Lilly, Thamo. So we made an impact in the worldwide thing. When it all happened, we won the World Cup, 1983. The recognition of Indians started from there, not only on cricket, but many things. I was in London that day in 1983. I could see what was happening. When you talk about Indian food, everybody would talk about Indian food immediately after that.
Yeah.
So all this has started, and I think we have gone a long way. Post this, number of authors have come.
Yeah.
One of the things I have thought that would stay with me has not stayed with me. I don't regret. Was Chetan Bhagat.
Yeah.
And
You don't regret.
well, he has moved, so he has
Yeah.
moved. That's it.
Yeah.
What do you do that?
No.
You say I can't go back to my days at start polishing the shoes and clearing the racks and other things. What I've done, I've done it. Now let others enjoy it also.
Yeah.
So I have no grudge around that. And I should not have. A publisher's job is to be as independent as could be.
True.
That is the title here, independent publishing. And I don't get hurt on that. He has moved for his advantage, he has done it.
Yeah.
But whether the advantage has been turned into the number of unit sales, that has to be judged as it. Because I can claim in the public that what Rupa has done in increasing the unit sales of many authors,
Yeah.
I think many publishers have not been able to do. I only beg of my editors and the production team and the other people who work on marketing and other things, please try to keep within the pocket of the buyer. Don't price it too much, because you are depriving a reader or a knowledge if you overprice for your benefit.
So you think in publishing, do you think the fight really is the cost of the book? Do you think it is?
Cost is a major factor. Now marketing is a big factor.
Yeah.
Because if you want to display at Relay or W.H. Smith, you have to pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all this is becoming we have become a very materialistic world now. For every little thing you have to pay for it. Well,
Except news, when nobody wants to pay for paid news. I mean, that's the thing, but
You see, but then if you have to create authors,
yeah.
you have to make some sacrifice.
Yeah.
And creative thing is not done that easily.
Huh.
When you see a diary outside,
Yeah.
there's a lot of calligraphy things selling there. But then for that, it's a different thing, you can pay a price. But for an ordinary reader to read, it's not easy. It's students. That's why the piracy takes place.
Yeah. So you have an interesting story about piracy too, right?
No, piracy, I fought for the new copyright law.
Yeah.
And I had my own time with Indira Gandhi and Vajpayee ji. And we moved into that because I had a unique experience when we were in police parties, we were raiding the person. I was seeing that this fellow is crying. But what can you do about it?
Yeah.
He has made an offense. But when we went to Mrs. Gandhi, and I remember that in the early morning we had a meeting. She called T.N. Chaturvedi, was the Home Secretary those days. Immediately called. I want this bill to be ready. Why you are? Amitabh Bachchan yesterday came and said that also.
Yeah.
So it worked.
Yeah.
And the most interesting part, while I was trying to prepare myself for this, my editor, Rudra Sarma ji, said to me, "Sir, aap usko bolna mat bhulna." So I said, all right. So it comes back to my mind, seeing you. Sidney Sheldon was in India for a holiday about 25 years ago. So I got a call from American Embassy that Mr. Mehra, Sidney Sheldon wants to see you. And we were doing the reprint of his title. So I went to 7 Amritsar Gail March in Delhi, and there I found Amitabh Bachchan, G.P. Sippy, Sunil Sethi of NDTV those days, and Sidney Sheldon. Sidney came out of the meeting and said, Mr. Mehra, just give me 2 minutes, I'm about to finish. So he was selling the rights to GPCP, where Amitabh Bachchan was going to be cast. So he came out. I said, this morning I have read in a newspaper that I have written this book, which I have not done it. So I said, this is a new kind of piracy which is taking place in India. Earlier they used to copy you, probably those books you are not writing well. So that is not selling, so they have created a new Sidney Sheldon. So he laughed at it, but anyway, all these things contributed a lot. And the new laws came in 1984 immediately. And I think Mr. Vajpayee and Mrs. Gandhi had an understanding that there will be no discussion in the parliament. The bill will be presented and will passed. And it was passed about 6-7 days, it was a problem, but then now the laws have become more tough now. And well, it's a matter of state to handle that. I don't want to comment more on that.
So, you've talked about Mrs. Gandhi. You have one of the interesting things that you talk about, and it's related to publishing itself. One of the first few books that you published in India, taking the permission, this thing which was a book that was banned, was a book on Mrs. Gandhi, right? After by Mark Tully and Satish Jacob. Do you Amritsar? It was, and you defied.
I was in London when
Yeah.
Sunny Mehta, who was the chief of Picador those days, met me because I had already published Salman Rushdie, and Salman Rushdie and Sunny Mehta have been very close to each other. So he said that now I have got a beautiful book from Mark Tully, and Mark Tully everybody knew about him in India. I would like you to see it and what can be done. So it was called Mrs. Gandhi's Last Battle. So Amritsar, Mrs. Gandhi's Last Battle.
Yeah.
And I came to India and sent him a proposal that is what we need to do it. And as soon as we imported 500 copies of that book, the government of India, in an unfamiliar way, stopped the import of that book. And I was very hurt because nobody would listen. And Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister those days. So I spoke to Sunny and they said, Sunny, let me do one thing. I will bypass all these laws and I print the book locally here by buying the rights from you. So Mark get paid, Satish Jacob get paid, and you are happy with this? Oh, yes. We published, first print run was 30,000 copies. And the government of India was second by that design because we kept a total secret and everywhere the book was available.
And I think you did design the cover also practically overnight, right?
So, no, we had to change the cover,
cover,
because I didn't want to use Mrs. Gandhi's cover on the lying in the
Yeah.
lid. So it worked very well. And obviously, that book has been still in print.
Yeah.
And
So,
but then the second experience was with
Satanic.
two experiences of Salman Rushdie.
Yeah, yeah.
Salman Rushdie's book Satanic Verses came, and Penguin told me that, look, they do not want to print here in India, so you kindly import it. So I said, I could smell something is happening. So I gave it to two of my Muslim friends to read it, and they are moderately Muslims, and they read it, and they said, no, there's nothing wrong in it. So I imported 500 copies at that time. And I imported it, and then next day or third day, I got a phone call from my friend, late friend, I would say, Tejashwar Singh, very well-known circle as a news reader in Delhi and all that. So he said, Rajan, your book is going to be banned this evening. I said, what? Yeah. So I was at home, I came back to the office. In my ambassador car, I put all the copies there, parked the ambassador car somewhere else, and waited for the morning to come. In the first morning, first call I got from Mr. Shamlal, the chief editor of Times of India. I need 2 copies of the book. I said, sir, I will make you available. Don't send anybody here. So he knew that the game is on. So in the press circle, the news goes like hot cake. And it should. And by the evening, my car was empty. We made sure that the delivery, wherever it was wanted, done. And the ban was imposed and crisis started.
Yeah.
I could not meet Salman Rushdie in London when I went back see him, no.
But I think you met him later, right? You met him. You've met him later
No, I
before
met
you.
him earlier.
Yeah.
I used to meet him later when
Yeah.
he came to India. You see, when Narasimha Rao came, things were sorted out. He invited,
Hmm.
and I think Narasimha Rao, myself, Narasimha was the Jagan, Prasanna Rajan. We some met in Taj Palace privately.
Yeah.
But things have settled down. Now
Yeah.
it's very sad that he got injured and all.
Yeah. And this is, but so you've been publishing for now a while, right? What have you got? I mean, you said you have no regrets, but what has been the best part of publishing?
To make the reader happy.
That's not easy, is it? I
No,
mean, is
that-
there
that-
one
that-
formula
no,
for
no,
making the
that's
reader
easy,
happy?
provided you have the thinking ready yourself.
Yeah.
It is not that nothing can be done. Everything can be done. Only thing, you see, when I published Alistair MacLean, I did not know that I will sell. You see, Rupa is one publisher, one company in the world who has got the second highest selling award of Agatha Christie's novel.
Okay. Which one was that? All.
All. Agatha Christie has a estate in London.
Hmm.
When we were distributing HarperCollins, I was handling it, and I said to them, this is what I want to do it. So they said, don't do it.
Hmm.
So there were 108 titles in Agatha Christie, and we printed 5,000 copies each. And sold it.
Wow.
Sold it in 2 months' time. And then I found that we will run out of money.
Hmm.
Then I gave this another proposal to Collins,
Yeah.
and they accepted it. And we made some arrangement, half of the consignment by air freight, half of the pile by sea freight. The way we wanted to pay to them, everything was sorted out. And after that, their director flew to India. The state has recognized you, and there is a photograph in the book also.
Hmm.
And they gave an award to us. So one has to think it over,
Yeah.
and let's see.
And is there any book that any writer that you wanted to publish that you haven't published?
Oh, many under the sky. You cannot say. Maybe even 10 are here, I will not know that.
Yeah.
So, but yes.
But you're still one of the few people who look at newspapers, look at people who've written, who still approach them and say, "This is a writer I really want."
Well, it's very difficult. Just now I told Mr. Sharma
Yeah.
something. Whispered to Ajay Singh here also something. And every day I tell to Kapish, my son,
Yeah.
who is looking after the company now, and I think I have expressed my gratitude to him for publishing this book. So we had to officially sign an agreement. And I said, no, I want this royalty to be paid to the trust. He said, no, you can't do that. The laws don't permit you. You have to take the royalty, pay taxes to the government, and then it go to the trust.
Yeah.
So I expressed my gratitude to Kapish, Rudra Sharma,
Yeah.
Ajay Singh, and there are many who are not here who has helped me to develop this. And I think I'm enjoying the time having retired.
Yeah.
It's the best time.
But you still go to Daryaganj every day.
Oh, you see, I have to pass time. I have to make my things move little. I go to cricket match. I go to London when there's
Yeah.
a match there. So I enjoy my life. There's no problem.
And you, for someone who's, let's say, limelight shy, you've written this. Why did you choose to write this book?
I have been taught that I must write my daily diary.
Yeah.
When I got married, after 2-3 days of my golden night, my wife asked me to stop it. So I stopped it. I have
Very
admitted
obedient.
it. I have admitted it here. And then something was happening. But then we have had a house rule, not in
Yeah.
the family, but business, that if I would travel to Ludhiana, I will write down whom I met, what happened, and every detail where I stayed. So all those documents have been in my office for a very, very long time.
Hmm.
I think now we have destroyed that. And we started publishing a journal called Rupa Book News,
Yeah.
which had a mailing of 3 lakhs every month.
Wow.
And mailing cost was about 5 paisa those days. When Ram Vilas Paswan ji came as the communication and minister, he removed everything. Now that is gone. So in fact, many of the journals have suffered after that
Hmm.
and have closed down. And with difficulty. But that was a communication we used to do with the public.
Yeah.
And it worked very well because people would write back to us.
Hmm.
In fact, just to tell you a story, I have also given a photograph of that. When Chetan Bhagat's fourth book came, 2 states.
Hmm.
This is a story of a Tamil girl with a Delhi Brahmin man.
Hmm.
And a gentleman wrote back to us in the letter that you have solved my family problem. Both my girl and this boy had some problem and family was not doing. And he sent a photograph of both hugging each other
So
of the
sweet.
marriage.
Yeah.
And we have done it here.
Yeah.
So communication will help us
Yeah.
and enjoy that way.
So,
That was your question.
yes.
Or something
My
else.
question was, you wrote this book in a particular time of
But
your life.
then my editors have been, my mentor was Nirupam Chatterjee.
Yeah.
I remember him now. He has been here. He used to say, you must continue this, do that, do
Yeah.
that. So I used to keep it. And at the time when COVID was there, a gentleman from Germany wanted an interview of mine. Then I said, you tell me, but then I didn't reply. So he made a sarcastic remark to one of my colleague, David Davidar, that, oh, RK is very arrogant and does not want. That made me think, if am I arrogant? And if I could be, then I can't be an author.
Yeah.
Anyway, I started writing from there, and then Rudra Sharma and Terry O'Brien and others in the office started helping me because I'm not a professional writer.
Mm.
So I was trying to give things and thoughts, and writing was there, already there. I think it became very easy for me because I could see that what I had seen. In
Yeah.
fact, some people are annoyed, why my photograph or why I have not been mentioned.
Yeah.
So that is also, I've said that something I have missed out.
Maybe next edition.
Well,
Never out of print, really.
you
So
see, when I am a very curious person, I go and buy things myself. So at the sabji wala say, why are you negotiating? A lady told me the other day. I said, what is wrong with that? No. अरे आप बुढ़ा आदमी इतना क्यों करता है? हमने कहा, you tell me what is my age.
Yeah.
So she looked at me very carefully. After long things, she said, hey, 67, 68. I said, madam, you should buy me free. I am 79 now. So that is the way I enjoy my life. I don't think I will write a second book that it does not deserve. Neither there are people in the company, and I've already paid compliment to Kapish that he has allowed this. Rudra is here. Rudra has been sent to escort me because साहब ऐसा ना हो कुछ उल्टा सीधा बोल दे.
True.
True.
I doubt that, but anyway, if that's how you're going to look at it, but I think he's been very much part of the journey, and I think it's a journey that everybody seems to have been. It's a book that it's a collaborative effort, even though if it is your story
It
in
has
some
to be.
ways.
It is
Yeah.
a company's
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Company's story is not my story. It is a story of 87 years now.
Yeah.
I think in next 13 years we'll be celebrating 100 years.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving a lot of things for 100 years. I've given it to my editors and company that please use this when you do that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward that I may not be here, but many of you would be there to see that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll open it up for questions. Does anybody have any questions? The gentleman at the back.
So written one book, but what is the best advice you want to give to
The
the
best advice
new,
you would want to give to
the new authors?
a new author?
Because
He's written a book.
No, I think the best advice would be that what you write, the subject which you have written, first you should know that whether the public is going to be interested in that subject or not. If there is an interest in that, then what you should do that you get it vetted by two independent people who should not be influenced by who you are. And once you have this vetting done, whatever the changes you advise and you find that you can accept it, make it ready for the publisher's office to be sent. Because now we find number of manuscripts keep coming, unsolicited manuscript. And we have two people to just go through it. I had to do it myself, but now I have given up. But we don't ignore whatever you send. From there we find that the subject, commercially it is also possible. If it is not commercially possible, under the circumstances as I explained, nobody is going to accept it. So then, if it is editorially acceptable, then you have to work it with the publishers to make it a success as a commercial publisher, nothing else.
thank you, sir.
The lady in front.
Anybody?
Good afternoon, sir. I am a Rupa author myself, and it was really fascinating to listen to all the stories. My question is, how do you see publishing changing in the near future, and how do you see Rupa changing? I mean, the world is changing, and publishing also, I think, with AI and so many other challenges, do you see it changing at all? And
Your question is that how do you see the publishing changing?
Publishing industry as such. Do you see it changing in the near future? The way you work, the
And
way
how
you
Rupa is changing?
and how Rupa would
Rupa
change.
is going to change, all right.
Yes.
The first question is, publishing is a content business. And this content word has been in 68 or 70s or 80s, that kind of book selling is all over. One of my colleague today was talking about the literary festival. In 1992, I realized at that time, what you said, that publishing is going to change and booksellers are not going to stay. Those who are familiar with the Delhi topography, in Delhi B block, Connaught Place, there used to be 6 to 7 bookshops who were masters in their field, and the business was huge. One by one, because of the real estate prices, all those shops have closed, or the people have gone, their family have not been interested anymore. Now that is creating a problem, because the way a reader should come to the bookshop, or you take Premier here, Bangalore, straightforward example, Gangarams. I tears roll my eyes when I think of those things, and I see R.K. Narayan walking into Premier bookshop, the book, and that fellow know what the book is asking and will be ready. So that kind of selling has disappeared. So, but other areas are we are working it. Festival in 1922, we started our own literary festivals all over India. Every month we used to have. Dr. Pushpesh Pant met me there only. So because he meets with big people like Gulzar and other things, so he used to come with him. So, we have to create scene where we create interest in the reader's mind, and readers will obviously try to seek from Amazon or Flipkart or anywhere else. So that retail business is all over. So the publishing will become a content business, which is a social media, and many other ideas will come. Now the second point which you are, is Rupa going to change? Well, Rupa is a private company, and I don't see in any time that we would like to collaborate with anybody, because we have been first distributor of Penguin books from 1935 till 1992 when they kicked us out. And HarperCollins, when we collaborated, had their own agenda, so I have no issue on that. And I have no issue, as Chetan said, why should I have it? We have been a successful company and will remain so in time to come. I'm sure we have a very strong leader in Kapish Mehra and David Devidar, and we have a very strong team. Yes, many of my colleagues should also go away with me, but the young ones are coming. I'm sure Rupa, as I see today, till I close my eyes, that will thrive as it is today.